Good morning everyone, my name is Rick and welcome back to my channel. Today I have a video about lots of Hoyas, lots of blooms. I got some seed pods and then I got some Hoyas that I brought back from Bangkok. I want to share with you guys. Today is Easter, so happy Easter to everyone and a Ramadan Kareem. Let's get started here at the entrance of the garden, and their Swiffers are going to follow me around the whole time. For those who don't know Swiffer that well, I found Swiffer across the street. She was very malnourished about 4 years ago, and she was maybe 6 weeks old, so she was abandoned, and she looked really rough. So it took a few months to get her back into health. So here she is. She's a lovely cat, and she's more like a dog. She's like my sidekick. She never leaves my side, so that's why you see her in the videos a lot, because she's always by me. So over here in the entrance, I have a lot of Hoyas and orchids coming to bloom. I'll start out. There's not a lot of blooms today for some reason, but there is a lot of buds. Let me just point some of those around for you. This peduncle over here is from this Hoya. This is a verticillata Hendersonii. So this Hoya is a very, very beautiful Hoya because it gets really long leaves. As you can see, these leaves are like 8 inches long. They get a lot longer than this as well. And it's a verticillata type. And then over here we have a Hoya caudata from Sumatra. She has another peduncle there. And this is one of my hybrids. As you can see, the nice round leaves with a nice point there. And this is the first time blooming for this hybrid, so I'm excited. That one over there is a Joy crossed with Jennifer, and I've bloomed her before, but she is covered in peduncles, and these should be open in a few days. And what else exciting going on here? This is my intervariegated Pakikata. Those flowers are on their way out. You can see it. It's a very beautiful color. Really nice pink color when the flowers first open up, and it kind of fades away a little bit. But I'll add a picture of it on the screen of this Hoya. And this one is another one of my hybrids. I call it RHM 30-11, and she is covered in peduncles and blooming. Let's get her closer up. So the parents on this one is Hoya Wucardnaziana and Hoya species Pola. She's a really good grower. And this Hoya here, this Hoya Pakikata Albo marginata, is the parents of this is a Hoya rigida green, and I was hybridizing I think a couple weeks ago, and it looks like we're going to have 2 seed pods there, and the seed pods are really green, which is kind of interesting too. Back here I haven't again done much to my little area that I've been working on, but it's been filling up really. A lot of growth happening, and it's filling and looking good, so I'm not going to fiddle with it too much. When the rains start coming, it's really going to take off. So, but this is a Phalaenopsis that almost croaked, almost died when it got cold, and she was left with only a few leaves. And she's surprising me on her how long these spikes are, and I like the way that they're growing upside down. You usually see them growing in pots sticking up, but this is, I believe, how most of them grow in nature. And when you attach them to trees here in Florida, they tend to grow like this, and it becomes a more attractive. Let's see if I can get a close-up of these flowers. Here's the flower. It's a really pretty flower. So yeah, and the way that it's just cascading down like that on that tree looks really exquisite. take a step back so you can see it better. And that is my Philodendron Jose Bueno up there. There's some more Phalaenopsis. There's my Bilobata and my Hoya fungi. And you can see fungi is blooming there. And this is my Hoya Michelle. She had some really nice splashy leaves, but it's losing some of its splash. But the new leaves are, you know, showing some more splash, which is nice. And she apparently wants to get up there to get to more light, I guess. So over here on my Deckyard Chicken Farm, my 2021 and my Dendrobium is still blooming. This is the Tangenarum cross discolor. And I think it's been blooming. If you watch my videos, it's been up here for at least 5 weeks. So it's very long lasting, as most dendrobiums are. So let me just give you a little swirl around the yard here and show you a few things. And then I have a lot of plants, a lot of Hoyas to show you guys, so I do not want to take too much time going around the yard. But there's more phals that I put on there, and my altar is looking quite nice this morning. I lit some incense. The incense also scares away the mosquitoes from being in the area. So in the morning there's some mosquitoes. If I light some incense, it really scares them out, which is kind of nice. So yeah, I need to do a lot of work. I've been doing shows this month. I have a total of 4 sales, live sales, in-person sales. So I've been kind of busy just, you know, preparing for one of these. Takes, you know, a few days just to get all the plants ready and labeled, and then you have to pack and, you know, spend the day selling plants. But the plus side of that is that you don't have to ship the plants, and you meet wonderful people, and you actually have fun. I have a lot of fun meeting all the people that come to my shows. It's really, really nice to see. And not having to pack is a wonderful thing. So it's here in Central Florida, and I don't think it's rained here in my garden in more than 6 weeks. So everything is pretty dry. I've had to hand water a lot, or else some of these plants would just be too parched. Let me see, I just spotted a leaf up there I gotta show you guys. But let me show you the rubida I've been showing in the last few videos. And she was in bloom, you know, for a good amount of time. But as soon as those flowers fell off, the peduncles are putting on new buds, so it's going to bloom again. So I'm happy to have this guy hopefully bloom all season, so that'll be nice. And over here, this is one of the Hoya cornaries. I'm sorry, it's a Hoya Fauziana. And you can see like the new leaf on there is really, really pretty. And the older leaves, you know, they've had a rough winter, so they don't look that great. But I'm glad to see it's putting out new leaves, and that one looks really nice. And the little red specks that, this is a Suriname cherry tree, and the birds just love going on there and munching on these berries, and then they kind of spit out some of the red pulp on the Hoyas. And over here I have my Carrie that is doing really well. She's climbing up, so I'm not going to pull her out, but she really likes the spot. So let me go and set up. I'm actually bringing the table back. There's the table over there, and I'm going to show you the Hoyas, some that I brought from Thailand and some that I shipped from Thailand, and some that are really sticking out and doing fun stuff. So let me share that with you guys. And this Hoya here is the very lovely, beautiful flowers, beautiful leaves. Everything about this Hoya is magnificent. But it, for me, is one of the hardest Hoyas to keep alive. So I'm giving it another try. So I got this plant from Thailand about a week or 2 ago. And you can see it's really gorgeous. It has a lot of splash, and hopefully I can keep it alive. So I did read a lot of people said if you add some calcium to it, it might help. And if you have a constant moisture supply, it might help. So over here in this pot, I have the bottom sealed, and I made a hole over here. So there's about ½ inch, about 3/4 of an inch of a reservoir, and I fill the reservoir with number 3 perlite. So there's at the bottom of the pot, about 3/4 of an inch, there's the number 3 perlite and water, and then on top there's my soil mix, and I added some pond to it, to the mix as well. Yeah, let's see. I'll keep you guys updated if it likes my growing method here, and if this guy I'll show him every week and see the progress. If he starts going down, I will show it to you guys as well, so you don't repeat my mistake. And this is a Hoya Vestigia. I've actually, hate to admit that I've killed 3 or 4 prior specimens of this Hoya, and most of the time it was cuttings that I got and I wasn't able to root. So this was a rooted plant that I got from Thailand. Again, I heard that this Hoya likes to have a constant supply of moisture, so it does have the perlite and about ½ inch of water at the bottom and a drainage hole on the side. And you can see I've had this for 3 weeks, and you can see it's really happy at this setup, with the setup of the, and I have her in the greenhouse. As soon as it acclimated for about a week, it started putting out like this really nice healthy long vine and putting on new leaves. So hopefully I can get this guy to thrive and bloom, because I've actually seen the flowers on this, and not only are they exquisitely beautiful, they smell like hyacinths, and they're just amazing scent that will fill a whole entire room. So this is Hoya Vestigia. And this guy here is a Hoya that I got from Hoyas. I just love getting Hoyas because they have such healthy plants, and they have such a variety, and they have so many Hoyas. If you watch one of my videos, if you go back to when I visited them back in November, their nursery is just an insane, it's like Venice of Hoyas. There's like canals, there's like rows and rows and rows and rows of Hoyas. So if you have missed that video, I would go back and watch it. So this is Hoya, came to me a Hoya species Vietnam AH005, and the leaves are quite beautiful. They almost remind me of Hoya globulosa, but when it bloomed, the flowers are very typical of a Hoya ornatiana, and they smell like Hoya ornatiana, which is not the most pleasant scent in the world for a Hoya, but it's quite beautiful. It's almost all completely white except for the orange centers of the flower. So, and these flowers are pretty long lasting. These have been in bloom like this for about a week now. So this is Hoya species Vietnam AH005. I think it's a Hoya ornatiana. And you guys are not going to believe this. I did mention, I think in the beginning of this video, that it hadn't rained here in Florida for like 6 weeks. And right now it started to drizzle. So I cannot believe this. I'm happy that it's raining so I don't have to water so much, but I wished it waited until I was done with the video. So let me just maybe move the table underneath the gazebo and do the video under there while it drizzles. But let me just show you this Hoya real quick. This is a Hoya Lessiana Albo marginata, and this is not a typical leaf of this Hoya, but it's quite stunning. The albo part really overtook almost the whole leaf, but usually you get leaves like this. And this one is Albo marginata, but this guy is giving me hints that it wants to become like a variegated Hoya Lessiana. See, like the middle is getting variegated. Usually Albo marginatas, usually the white part is on the edge. There is some Hoyas that do convert from Albo marginata to like complete variegated, and I hope that this one does. That would be unusual because I haven't seen a variegated Hoya Lessiana. So the flowers on this are really quite beautiful. I have flowers from the regular green variety, and I'll put them on the screen so you guys can see. But yeah, this is a really nice Hoya. The leaves can get to like 8-9 inches long. They're pretty succulent. And the trick to growing this guy for me is small pot, and don't overwater it. It does not respond to overwatering. You'll get root rot, and then the whole plant will just die on you. So don't feel like you have to keep it moist all the time. And this guy is a new acquisition as well. It's a Nap20, and I saw it when it was on eBay, and it looked really nice, but sometimes what you see on eBay and what you get is not exactly the same. But this Hoya came out of the box looking like this. It does have beautiful leaves with like this really nice chocolatey color to the newer leaves. It looks like it has some, it can get some pink splash. It does get splashy as well. I don't know what the flowers look like. I don't know much about this Hoya, except that the leaves really attracted me and I had to get it. So this is Hoya AH20. I have it growing in my regular growing mix, which is mostly number 3 perlite. I added some chunks of, what do you call that, clay in there, and some bromeliad mix. So it's a nice loose mix where when I water it, the water comes right through the pot, because with Hoyas, you do not want them to root rot. So this is Hoya Nap20. And this Hoya here is Hoya Affinis picta, or Hoya picta I've seen, or Hoya Pubera. I think I've seen that online as well. I just call it Hoya picta for now. And I got a large plant of it, and I took some cuttings and I rooted this as I normally do to make my sales on my Facebook group. And this guy had a peduncle and it started blooming, as you can see. These flowers are really small. They're really hard to photograph. I actually have a close-up picture and I'll add it to the screen. But you can see if I can get a good look at this. They're really small, like they're like basically the tip of my thumb. They're really cute actually, and they have a little bit of a scent, but not too much. A little bit of a floral scent. The leaves are about the size of a fingernail, and it is a really cute little Hoya if you like the small leaf types. So this is Hoya Affinis picta. This Hoya I got from Surisa. She's one of the best Hoya sellers, hybridizers in the whole entire world. And she sold me this as Hoya citrina splash. As you can see, it's pretty stable. This is one of the leaves, but you can see the new growth. Again, really does keep splash. So I got this from her and I planted it. As soon as I got back, I did hand carry this, and a lot of people ask me, how do you bring plants back from Thailand? And I'll give you a short information on that. So basically, you can bring up to 12 plants back from Thailand if they're under 18 inches long. I think that's the regulation. And you need a phyto certificate. So usually get the seller that sold you the plants to get you the phyto certificate, so you can hand carry them with you. I'd carry them in the cabin because it gets pretty cold down in the cargo of the plane. So you can carry up to 12 plants with a phyto certificate. When you land in the United States, you just show the customs people that you have the paperwork, And sometimes they open the box and look at your plants, and sometimes they just let you go through. So it's not a big deal. So if you have the paperwork, you're protected. You just show the customs people here when you land in the US, and you're all set to go. And this is Hoya species Doi Chiang Dao Silver Splash. I got it from Jack. And if you'd like to order plants from Jack, you go to ppplant.net, and I'll put that in the description below this video. And you can see it kind of reminds me of an Obovata Carrii Hoya. I haven't seen the blooms, so it'll be interesting. But as soon as I brought it back into the US, I planted it, and it's a good grower. It's putting out 2 new growth points. I'm really excited to get this Hoya because it's quite splashy, and possibly this will turn into, like, I seen one that was like completely silver on this. So really a beautiful specimen. And this guy here I also got from ppplant.net, Jack's Hoya. And you can see this is a variegated form of Hoya numerularities, and the newer leaves are coming out nicely variegated. And it's such a good grower. I can't believe it's only been in here maybe 2-3 weeks, and it's putting out all these new growth points, which is really super exciting. And I think that might be a peduncle. I'm not sure, but it would be nice to have a flower. But these numerularities are known to flower when the weather gets cooler. And so here in Florida, we're waiting for cooler weather, maybe in the end of November. That's when it usually numerularities flowers, when it gets down into the 70s here in Florida. So it's really cute, and the leaf shape of this Hoya numerularities variegated is a little different than most Hoya numerularities. And I think he named this guy Hoya Mali, M-A-L-I, and that is a term in Thai that means, I think, mountains or mountain ranges. And you can see it's so cute. It's really adorable, and it's really growing like crazy. Hoya Mali. And this Hoya is not one of the recent imports. I've had this Hoya for probably 6-7 months, and this is Hoya. It's a wakanosa, almost, it's completely silver. I call it wakanosa silver F13, and the leaves on this are quite big. As you can see, on a wakanosa standards, this leaf is probably almost 2 inches long. It's quite silver, almost completely white. And it put out a peduncle, and it looks like it's going to bloom soon. And before I get to one of my favorite Hoyas right now that I brought back from my last trip to Thailand, when I went to the Bangkok exotic plant sale, the Bangkok International Exotic Plant Show sale in Bangkok in the beginning of March. I'll show you that Hoya last, but let me just show you this Hoya irisa that I got from Surisa. I'm saying about 6-7 months ago. I got it as a 2-noder, and it had a couple of peduncles, and it's bloomed for me, and they're gorgeous. But this one, it's not blooming now, but it has put out so much growth and so many new peduncles. I envision this plant, bloom, all the peduncles blooming at the same time, and another, maybe foot or 1.5 foot a height on this plant. I've hesitated cutting it because it's not one of the easiest ones to root, I've been told. But you can see for almost every peduncle, it puts out a really nice, for every node, it puts out a nice peduncle, as you can see there. So there's one every other almost. So you can see one there, it skips one, another one there, it skips one, and then there's one there. So yeah, every other node. It's interesting. I just noticed that. So every other node it puts out a peduncle. So this is going to be exquisite when they hopefully all bloom at once with those big yellow flowers. It's quite stunning. So I'm so happy with this plant and so thrilled that it's doing so good in my care. And before I get to my last Hoya, I just want to mention a couple of things. One is that I do sell a lot of Hoyas on my Facebook group. It's called Rick and Swiffers. So it's in the links below in the description. You can click on that, join the group, and you'll see my my Hoya posts that I post on there. And then I do some local shows here in Florida. I just had one yesterday here in Valrico. And then my next sale and show will be up in Georgia, outside of Atlanta, on the 29th of April. And I'll put that information below as well. So please check out the links. Also check out my Instagram and yeah, my Facebook groups. And this is the Hoya that I've been loving for the last, it's the first time I saw it, and every day that I look at it, I really fall in love with it. This is a Hoya latifolia complete splash or ghost silver. It's really beautiful. It seems pretty easy. I got it back here. It was hand carried from, I think I mentioned, I bought it at the Bangkok International Exotic International Plant Show in beginning of March, and I hand carried it and I planted it. It hasn't missed a beat. It has a grow point already there. It's putting out, it looks like another one here. So really excited. This is a Hoya latifolia with complete silver leaves. I think this guy is extremely rare. I've only seen 2 plants of this. So if anyone knows where else could you find one of this Hoyas, I got this one from Surisa. I think she has the other one. So yeah, check it out. Check out her offerings. She has a Facebook group called Surisa's Hoya Room, and she does auctions, and you can contact her on there and see if she has anything to offer. So this is Hoya latifolia silver, and it is quite beautiful. And that's going to be it for today. I hope you enjoyed my video. Hope you like and subscribe. I probably will head back to Thailand or Indonesia anytime soon. Not real soon, but probably by the end of the summer. So stick around. I'll bring you more footage. Anything that's plant related or my plant related travels, I will share with you guys. And now I feel like there's a downpour coming. So I'm going to go in the house and let these plants soak in all the nice rainwater. So you guys have a great Easter, a great Ramadan, and hope to see you back next week. Take care. Bye-bye.